about limits, man. Whoa. Okay, calm down.
Well, it's a well-known fact. It's been confirmed by several UN sources as well, but and reporters. But definitely, when you're there, the healthcare workers and the officials will tell you this, and you see these injuries. Is that Israel is using weapons that have not been used before, with bodies being disintegrated and burnt, with using like drones, like the Hellfire drone, and other missiles that spew shrapnel everywhere. Okay, and as you know, if something's battle tested on the open market, its value increases, right? So the whole Gaza Strip has been used as a battleground for these weapons, right? For the weapon industry. So we saw people with with injuries that, for example, most injuries, when it comes to amputations, they occur at the elbow or the knee. So you saw like mid thigh, mid arm amputations, because of shrapnel and whatever injuries, and those don't do very well. And bodies disintegrated with using chemical weapons, and obviously phosphorus, we know, which really maims and injures in a very cruel way. Phosphorus pellets, they go right to the bone, okay, and then they stop because they need oxygen. As long as they have oxygen, they'll keep on burning until they hit bone, right? So you saw kids with those kind of injuries. And yeah, that was basically a certain fact that we all accepted, that these are weapons that have not been used before, and they're causing maximum injury to mostly children, but women and men as well. Yeah.
We have a slideshow that Dr. El Sharif put together. I did take out some of the more graphic images because I didn't want people to be upset, and I think that people who watch the show are already aware of it, and also so it wouldn't get removed by YouTube. But I thought we would show some of these images, and you could kind of talk us through them. And of course, anyone else who wants to comment can do so.
Following what Yasser said, in the north, we've seen a lot of injuries in the hands where they left a new type of weapons that explode when the people are going through the rebel and they are trying to look for their loved ones. Because whatever you hear in the news, if they say 34,000 or 40,000, whatever, these are the counted people. Like in the north, we would go through a building and they tell me there are 3 bodies under this building, and I ask why, and they say, well, there was 60 people here, we got 30 out, the rest are still under the rubble till now. So it's when people go to look for their belongings after the forces leave, they get injured specifically in their hands. And it spreads in their hands and arms, which is actually very bad injuries that my plastic colleague said that they've never seen this before. For the famine, the physicians and surgeons in the north, they are all underweight. They have been drinking the D5 and D10, which is the IV fluid that you give for the patients or the ICU. We've seen patients who come with dehydration with sodium of 178, and Dr. Alia can collaborate on that. And dehydration, you examine them, the skin peels off when you examine them because they are skin and bone. Unfortunately, Al Shifa, we've all seen in the news the number of mass graves and people under in the front yard of the Shifa hospital. The Shifa is a big complex, and Nasser as well. So it's very heartbreaking to see these children and these women dying from malnutrition and from dehydration, and the physicians as well who are working tirelessly unpaid for months. So this is an example of the injuries. If you're not killed, you're handicapped. So the shrapnel is spread. In medicine, the bullet has an entry and exit, but the shrapnel spreads all over the body. So this is an example of an 11 years old kid who I operated on, and he had an injury to his heart. Miraculously, he survived. But the thing is, he was attacked by a sniper, and the injury came from his neck, and the shrapnel spread it all the way down to his heart. And I'm sure David, some of these pictures actually are from David, and I think Yasser has some of them as well from the eye injuries. This is a kid. This is a 9-year-old kid. His job is he's an ICU technician. He's an X-ray technician at the ICU. How many people in the world? Where did he train? Where did he learn how to use the X-ray machine in the ICU? And this is our colleague Sam. We love him from Northwestern Chicago.
So what does he do as a technician?
His job, he walks around between patients and takes X-rays of the patients in the ICU. This is his job, and he's volunteer. He's not paid for that. He's 9 years old.
My God.
And Katie, I'd like to mention also that, in World War II, 650,000 children were evacuated from London, and 3,000 pregnant women were evacuated from London prior to the bombing for their protection.
Right.
And if we look at what's happening in Gaza, where we have 70% of the population, women and children, there were no measures taken to protect the children. And in fact, the children and the pregnant women appear to be the targets of these bombing campaigns. And we're seeing the use of white phosphorus on the children's hospital, which is a banned substance. And white phosphorus was also used by Israel in 2014 in Operation Protective Edge. And in that operation, there were 551 children killed. So these are banned illegal substances which cause major injuries, major pain and suffering. And we're seeing that the children and the women are the target.